weekend. We have an awesome program planned for you for the next maybe 15 minutes, there about 15 to 20 minutes. So get on board, call somebody, call someone. You're gonna enjoy it. You're gonna enjoy it.
As we see here, our motto, education is liberation, you know? So
yes.
we are in the business of educating to liberate. The more you know, the more you grow, right?
Yes, correct is right.
So yeah.
Correct is right.
I think that is educational. We love to do it, you know? And there's no better place to be on Gemfm. We do all things. Yeah? All things.
Expanding your mind. Doesn't matter your age. It's about growing, getting themselves active. You know, the cognitive aspect, get that popping and growing so that you will be able to go before great men. And it doesn't matter your age, that you'll be able to share it with your grandchildren and nephew and niece and be able to help someone wherever you are.
Life is a classroom. You can't stay away from it. Whether you want to be it or not, you're in it. So you have to take what you get from it, because it's going to happen, whether you like it or not. The classroom is always open. There's a 24-hour classroom.
Exactly. I like how you have put it, because if we are not in church, literally, we are on the virtual platform. If we are not on the virtual platform, you are meeting someone, if it's a neighbor. You are always, information is always coming to you. So it's a choice whereby you will accept that information or whether you're going to reject it. So that's the good part about it. We all have choices.
Exactly. Life, you know, they say life serves you cookies, you know, and it's a buffet. And again, you still choose which one you want. And if you don't want, you just take the next one. But
definitely so. Definitely so.
Thinking it's healthy for you, you know.
Yes.
What other people grab is not for you. You know, I'm picking the wrong one, you know. So let's enjoy life. And, you know, I say to people all the time, be prepared to be prepared for the opportunity, you know.
Yes.
Never know. I'll be prepared for an opportunity. You never know what's going to happen.
Well, you have to be skilled and be informed. Information keeps coming and opportunities are coming every day. When the opportunity came to me in regarding having Miss Roxanne, who is going to share, I am telling you, I was just blown away. John, I was just blown away that I said she has to come on and share with Gem's listeners all about Spanish.
All about Spanish.
All about Espanol. How are we going to develop that next language? Because we are missionaries in the pathway. We are missionaries sharing about the good news of Jesus Christ. So we're going to learn how to share the good news of Jesus Christ in Spanish and other areas that you can support. Or maybe a neighbor, you know, in Trinidad, we have a lot of persons migrating and coming over, our Spanish brothers and sisters and our neighbors. So we want to be equipped. We want to be knowledgeable. We want to be informed that we can communicate. We may not be as fluent, but at least we'll have some information or some words that can help to communicate effectively.
Yeah, you know, that's the thing. I was just saying, even in my days growing up in school, Spanish was a language. We had to take it. But, you know, 1977, 78, you didn't think about it. And then before you know it, we had a revolution in 79. And before Cubans came. And they were saying, oh my goodness, if I had stayed in a Spanish class.
And I do tell myself that at times I thank God that we still have another chance. And once it's presented to you, it's to maximize on it. Yes, we may not have the funds at the point in time, but we have different avenues that we could learn a new language every day or a few words every day. So as you said earlier regarding choices and regarding opportunities, today I'm encouraging Gem listeners, take this opportunity. I am taking it. I have connected with Miss Roxanne. She is qualified. She teaches at one of our prestige schools in Trinidad, and she has a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of experiences that she would be able to share with you today. And I know I just have 15 minutes, so I'm gonna, if Brother John would allow me to introduce her, and we go right into this liberation time of learning another language. Go right ahead.
Give you 50 minutes, I give you 50 minutes, which one?
Well, we're gonna see how long it's gonna take. Or if that's what you want to do, we want to see how long it's gonna take.
You have the 45 one, half an hour to 45 minutes.
All right. So once Roxanne allows me this time to, pull as much as we can within this period, we thank God again for this opportunity. We thank God for FM radio platform, international online platform that God have been using for various years and transforming lives. So again, call someone. This segment is being recorded on YouTube, on Facebook, and I just want you to know, as we have been hearing before, invest in a wonderful ministry. And I know that John normally puts it out there, so invest, make a difference. As you make a difference in the ministry online, you are making a difference in your life as you plant into this ministry. It's good grounds, as I normally said, good grounds that is transforming persons for Jesus Christ and also transforming persons on a whole. Well, Roxanne, this time we have been talking about it for weeks and weeks, and we have finally gotten on. We have finally said yesterday, Palm Sunday, the 10th, the 10th of April, you are here because God has you on this station at this time to impact persons throughout the globe. So I just want you to feel relaxed, feel comfortable as we get right into sharing about Spanish, about Espanol. Well, listeners, I'm going to learn from her as well. I know some basic words, but you're going to get some more words from Roxanne this evening. We're going to just do the basics for this week. And as the week progresses, you are going to increase in your vocabulary. As our sir or miss always tells us, or they always say, revise, go home, practice. So next week, we're going to open up the lines to see how many words you have recalled. And this week, you are listening, please feel free to forward, may it be little topics that you may be interested in learning. I know that we are not taking this time for granted as we grow. Well, I said earlier that Roxanne have been teaching at a prestige school in Trinidad, which we will not mention, right? We will not mention the name of the institution, but I'm going to ask Roxanne to just unmute her mic, and I'm going to give a little bio about her, and we're going to just flow. So, Roxanne.
Hi, good night. I'm here.
How are you this evening?
I'm quite fine. Yeah.
Are you
it
ready?
has been a good day. Yes, I'm ready.
Been a good day. Awesome, awesome. Well, it's the
Yeah.
Easter period in Trinidad and Tobago, and school is closed, as we say.
Yeah.
For the preschools and primary, we still have secondary school, the students, that's closed as well, but we have tertiary education flowing right now. So I'm going to ask you this question. How was your term?
Okay, last term was quite fine. It was a lot of getting adjusted to, it was from Monday, the 7th of February, we were asked, in secondary school, we were asked to return to the physical school and everything like that. Everything went more or less normal. We were organized, I must say. I love where I teach, and we were quite organized. So things went quite well. We always had the little hiccups because, some students were still, contracting the virus, but we did pretty okay.
Awesome, awesome. Well, in spite of, as you have said, in spite of the COVID and such, like, life continues, life progresses.
Yeah.
And we cannot just allow that to hold us back. So you have been working with students for various years. Can you tell the listeners how many years you have been working in education, especially regarding Spanish?
Well, I have been a teacher for, it's more than 20 years. For around 24 years I've been teaching. and I've been in the secondary school system for 10 years. I would have been in the primary school system before. So I would have taught the little children come right up. In primary school, of course, I taught all the subjects because that's what you have to do in primary school.
Yes.
Yeah.
You are well qualified. As I said earlier, you are not getting any fly-by-night tutor here. You are getting a tutor who has a wealth of knowledge. She is able to work with preschoolers. You heard that she has been working in the primary school level. She is knowledgeable in the secondary level because that's where she is currently. But better yet, she is able and equipped to even educate adults. So today we're going to be focusing on simple words, as mentioned. Her scope includes teaching foreign language. And you know, Roxanne, I was sharing with another person wondering why Spanish? Why did you specialize in Spanish? Can you tell our viewing audience and those who are listening, why have you decided to specialize in Spanish, not French or some other language? Why Spanish?
Why Spanish? It's because of my experience as a little girl. Well, number one, in my heritage, I do have Spanish heritage, Spanish roots.
Oh, wow.
And apart from that, well, I guess probably many people in Trinidad, because you know we have very diverse mixed culture
Yes.
here. Apart from that, while growing up, every time the older heads wanted to speak, is either they got together and they spoke in broken Spanish or patois, the broken French.
Yes.
And that was so that the children, and also that the children can't understand what they're saying. And I always had a curious mind. So I wanted to know what they were talking about because the conversations were long and they were laughing and having fun. So I was very curious about learning of the language. And I had a passion for it. And I took it upon myself that I wanted to learn the language. And that's where it started. It really started. It started there. That's how it started. I also used to pay attention to old school Sesame Street, not the watered down version that you would see now.
Yes.
And I picked up a lot of words from there. But the passion started from home. And what happened is eventually I started to pick up on what was being said. And then I started telling them what they were saying. And then they were like shocked. And they realized, oh my God, Roxanne is understanding. So they had to find another way to communicate.
Wow. So look
Yeah.
at that. It's amazing. Sometimes we take these little shows, and it is very much important, as you said, that parents ensure that they have their children viewing proper programs that could stimulate learning. Because sometimes we may just have them in front watching some cartoons, spending time that might not just be profitable for them. So you are saying, even myself, I saw Sesame Street for years, and we will hear about Olivia, and she will say her words in Spanish and such like. So from there, your passion grew.
Yeah.
And amazingly, your parents had to find another way, as you have said, to communicate for a child not to hear some of the topics that they were discussing that was not fitting for a child's age. So I am happy that that's little, you know, those experiences that you have had stimulated you to now become a skilled, qualified tutor. So if you are listening today, I'm encouraging you to ensure, provide languages in front of your child or children that would be able to support them to have a second language or a third language or a fourth language in order to be effective in Trinidad and Tobago as well as the globe, because we are not only being heard in Canada, we are being heard throughout the globe. So whichever country you are, feel free to even learn English because you might have your own language in your country. Thank you so much, Roxanne. Well, Roxanne's scope includes teaching the foreign language for, and these are objectives, so academic purposes at all levels. She is interested in preparing groups or individuals to communicate effectively in the foreign language when visiting or going on missionary trips. Her objective as well is for preaching of individuals, for groups, wherever you are. So sometimes the preacher may want an interpreter. She also falls in there. To learn a foreign language for advancement in career occupation. So you may be hearing and you want to fit in that category. Roxanne is skilled and equipped to help you there. Learn a second language. And there are much more avenues that Roxanne could support you in developing in that second language. So she teaches basic academic for academic purposes. So those who will be writing exams soon, call Roxanne, she will help you. And Brother John, if it's just for regular communication, you can learn something from her that you could meet your listeners who are communicating in Spanish. So we always say you could always contact our friends, or you can contact Roxanne at 321-8673. And because Roxanne lives in Trinidad, it's going to be 868-321-8673. So we are going right into continuing our session at 7:50. So today we're going to be focusing on greetings, right? So Roxanne going to take it from here, and she's going to take you through an experience that you're going to say, I can't believe Spanish was so easy. So Roxanne, are you ready? Or Miss Roxanne, are you ready?
Yes, I'm pretty much ready.
All right. So you go right ahead at this point in time and take us through as we chatted. Today you're going to learn about how you could say your name, how you could do other greetings, where do you live, welcome. Please submit you and other words that are necessary when we communicate or when we meet people from different countries or even in your country regarding morals and values when we communicate. So go right ahead, Roxanne. And thank you again for joining us for the segment for such a time like this.
Okay, thank you so very much. Good afternoon to one and all again. Good evening, I should say. And buenas tardes. All right, buenas tardes means good evening. Buenas noches would be good night. All right now we still consider it the evening. So buenas tardes, good evening. Buenas noches, good night. Okay. All right. So let's begin. When you meet someone, for instance, introduction. When you meet someone, you begin with an introduction. And a good way to introduce, even before you go to your name and stuff, a very easy way would be hello. In English, we say hello. In Spanish, we would say hola. Now, just as how hello begins with H, hola begins with H. However, the H is going to be silent. So you would only be hearing from the second letter, right? It's just as in English when you have two vowels go walking along. The first one does the talking and the second one remains silent, right? It's a little rhyme that some of us would normally teach the students from primary school. Well, it's kind of similar in Spanish. The H is there, it walks along with the rest of the word, but it is silent. So hello, hola. So, I mean, I don't need to hear you, but for those of you who are listening, you can say it for yourself. Hello, hola. You want to tell somebody hello in Spanish? You say hola. Okay. And then again, remember we have many Venezuelans living here now. All right. I mean, we live very close to Venezuela, so it's no surprise. Okay. And if you want to introduce yourself and you want to say, my name is, a very easy way to say it would be, just how you say my name is, a very easy way to say it in Spanish would be, mi nombre es. Not is a, es. Mi nombre es. It means my name is. So if you want to say, my name is Roxanne, you can say, mi nombre es Roxanne. If your name is Paul, mi nombre es Paul. If your name is Maria, mi nombre es Maria. So this is how we do it. Now, I don't want to make it too compact, too wordy, and then you don't take away anything from the session. So I prefer to just give a few, eat little, live long, as the older heads used to say. I grew up around a lot of older heads. All right. So again, we recap and then we go a little forward again. You learned how to say hello. Hello is hola. You learned how to say my name is. My name is, which is only one way. You know, we have more than one ways of saying what is your name, but a simple way would be mi nombre es. Right? For those of you who would have looked at Dora before or anything like that, sometimes you will hear her saying something like, Hola, soy Dora. What she's really saying is, hello, I am Dora. So another way to introduce yourself would just be saying, I am, and then you say what your name is. So if I want to say, I am Roxanne, I would say, soy Roxanne. If I want to say, I am Pablo, I would say, soy Pablo. If I want to say, I am Carmen, I would say, soy Carmen. Okay? So it's another way to introduce yourself because that's the first thing you do when you meet someone, whether it is you go to a foreign country or you meet a tourist over here or you just meet somebody over here that you don't know. You meet somebody asking for information or something, part of the introduction, or you go to the new school for the first time, your secondary school for the first time, or primary school for the first time, and you're meeting people. One of the first things you do, hello, what's your name? Or my name is. Okay, so we start right there. So again, the other way to say my name is or I am would be soy, and you say what your name is. Soy. And how is that? How we got that soy? You know, like soy sauce. We know about soy sauce, all right, in Trinidad. So the soy is spelled the same way you spell the soy in soy sauce. All right, soy and whatever your name is. So that's part of how we introduce ourselves. Okay. Now you may want to know in return what the other person's name is. So you said your name, but you want to know the other person's name. So a very simple way to ask it is, ¿Cuál es tu nombre? ¿Cuál es tu nombre? So mi nombre es Roxanne. ¿Cuál es tu nombre? All right. ¿Cuál es tu nombre? What is your name? So it's a simple way to ask the question. Some of you may be writing, so I'm repeating, and you can even repeat it as I say it. ¿Cuál es tu nombre? Mi nombre es Roxanne. ¿Cuál es tu nombre? Mi nombre es Pablo. ¿Cuál es tu nombre? Mi nombre es María. Okay? So those are simple ways of saying it. The repetition is really to help remember what you are now learning. And I'm sure you remember again. How do you say hello again? Hola. How do you say I am? Soy. I am Roxanne. Soy Roxanne. I am Anna. Soy Anna. So that's another way. What else is involved in greetings? So we have several parts that are involved in greetings. Now remember when I started off by just saying good evening and then I said it in Spanish. So part of greetings, according to the time of day that you would meet the person, you would also specify in that, you know, good evening, good night, good afternoon, good morning. So let's learn how to say these as well in Spanish. So again, I started off by saying good evening. In Spanish, if we want to say good evening, we say buenas tardes. Buenas tardes. Good evening. Buenas tardes. Good evening. Some people may ask, but where is the S? Where does the S come from? Basically, it's like this, right? When you are learning a different language, language is part of culture. So the culture is embedded within the language of a society or country that you're learning about. And they will have their own grammatical structure within that language. And it wouldn't be right for you to try to interpret the language the way how you will do it for your particular language, because that language will come with its own culture, right? Hence, the reason why I'm saying that in Spanish, you would find that everything would agree. For instance, in English, we have something called the Concord, we have subject verb agreement. Well, in Spanish, it goes even further, not just the subject and the verb agrees. We have the adjective agreeing as well. If it's a pronoun, instead it's going to agree as well. We have everything agreeing. There is agreement in Spanish. Even the words themselves, when you pay attention to the words, they make a lot of meaning according to what is being said. The word itself tells you, the meaning of the word tells you what you're saying. Okay? That's when you begin to pay particular attention or scrutinize the language a little more. So again, buenas tardes. That's how you say good evening. Buenas tardes. As the night matures, you find the time matures, we go into the night and we will say good night. And it's going to be buenas noches. Buenas noches. That's good night. So in English, we say noche. Sorry, in English, we say night. But in Spanish, we say noche. So good night, buenas noches. Right? Good evening, buenas tardes. Okay? And after the night comes the morning, the beginning of a new day. So you see somebody in the morning, or arrive at school, or you get up and you're telling your siblings, your parents, good morning. You're gonna say buenos dias. Buenos dias. Buenos dias, good morning. It also means good day. Sometimes you meet someone during the course of the day and you just say, good day. How do you say that in Spanish? Buenos dias. Now, if you're paying particular attention to what I'm saying, you'll realize that I said buenas tardes, buenas noches, but I'm saying buenos dias, right? That's because la tarde, which is evening, it is feminine. And remember, I said before, as part of the grammar, everything agrees. There's agreement in everything in Spanish. So because that noun, you will find it is feminine, you will find that the adjective that's describing it is going to also have to be feminine. So when you say good evening, you're not going to say bueno or buenos tardes. It's going to be buenas tardes. Likewise, night, the word for night in Spanish is la noche. Noche is feminine. So you'll find adjective has to do with the noun as well. So you'll find yourself saying buenas noches, not buenos noches. Sometimes we just listen to things and we take it for granted. We don't spend enough time learning the word and we make simple little errors. But if we really put the time in and we practice our work, we'll realize that it's not really that difficult as we make it out to be. It's quite simple. We just need to pay attention, spend enough time with it, right? Before I go into that a little more, let's go to the good morning or good day. Notice for good morning now, it's buenos dias, because dia means day. And el día, there's an article before the nouns in Spanish. El día, it's masculine. So because it's masculine, you're going to find the adjective has to be masculine as well. So you'll find yourself saying, buenos dias, good morning, good day. All right, there is agreement. There's no confusion with the words. It agrees. They are in agreement with each other. And once you learn that, once you understand that, you pay attention to that very basic rule, you'll find it's easier for you when you want to make little sentences or even add little extensions to your sentences. And it's going to become easier for you once you pay attention to the fact that there is agreement in what is being said. Those words agree. They don't argue with each other. They're not pulling and tugging. They're all walking in one accord. They're all in agreement. Okay. Something that will help you a lot is stay away from procrastination. It could be your worst enemy, especially when you're studying for exams. All right. Or even just learning something. Stay away from procrastination. Take your time and learn your work. Very easy way to help you remember simple little things is these. If you learn something today, before you go to bed, go it over again. Don't wait until the next class or the next time you hear the person again on the radio or for the next session, because by then, chances are you might forget and then you'll have to go over learning that thing all over again, because we have several different issues taking place within one day or even a half day or quarter of a day. So a very good way, a very good study tip for those of you heading towards exams. Don't procrastinate, don't put it off. You learn something, go it over. That later on that day, you get a little spare time, go it over. By doing that, you'll find that the information will start to go into your long-term memory and it's going to make it easier for you to remember rather than leaving everything to the end and then you're trying to cram everything in your head. For those of you heading towards Spanish, you're trying to cram all the Spanish into your head all at once and then you expect to make it in the exam. It may work for some people, but not for everyone. The best way is to practice. Practice. Keep on practicing. Spanish is a practical subject, right? It's not a science, so you can't treat it as a science. There's no scientific situation or solution to work out or statements or anything like that. It's very practical. Once you can understand that, it will be much easier for you to learn the language. But if you try treating it like a science, you'll find it's difficult, right? It's just practical. It's practice. So you have to talk it out, you have to speak it out, you hear yourself saying it, and it will get easier. So let's kind of go over what we would have said so far. Let's see if you will remember, if you can remember. So, I mean, I can't hear you, but you can repeat it to yourself. So we learned how to say hello in Spanish, and hello is hola. We also, show how much more time I have, so let me wrap up quickly. We also learned how to say my name is, mi nombre es, right? We also learned how to say I am, soy, so soy Roxanne, soy Maria, soy Pablo. We also learned how to ask somebody about what is their name. What is your name? ¿Cuál es tu nombre? All right, I hope you're repeating those words as you're hearing me.
¿Cuál es mi nombre?
So what do you say when you say como se llama?
¿Cómo te llamas o cómo se llama is another way to say what is your name. But I was just looking at the easier ways to say it first.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring that in the next session. Yeah.
Good. That's kind of, I didn't hear this other one before, so I was like, did I get the right teacher, my Spanish teacher?
You did get the right teaching. I introduced the simpler ones.
Okay.
So even as you would have introduced it there, I'll go into it. So another way to say, what is your name, right? If it's your friend or family or something like that, somebody, a relative, you know, meeting or something, or just somebody becoming your friend. ¿Cómo te llamas? What is your name? And then if the person is responding to you, like if I'm responding to you, I'm going to say, me llamo Roxanne. My name is Roxanne.
Me llamo
Rox, and you call your name.
Llamo Juan. Juan. Yeah.
Muy bien. So if your name is John, me llamo Juan. Me llamo Pablo. Me llamo Carmen. Me llamo Maria. Me llamo Fedina. Okay? Me llamo. So let's go over that. What is your name? ¿Cómo te llamas? My name is Me llamo, and you call your name. Now, if it's like a tourist, somebody you don't know, somebody in authority, you would find the person asking instead, ¿Cómo se llama? ¿Cómo se llama?
Oh.
Right? And so, it gets just a little more technical for some people. That's why I didn't introduce that one again. And the person will still respond, though, Me llamo, and they call their name. Me llamo Roxanne. Yeah. So that's how we do that. What else I would have, and if there are any questions you can ask me, I am ready for any questions, but I will just go over quickly what else I would have done, because I'm recapping. We need to summarize to make sure that audience would have learned.
What I really like, I'm enjoying this. It's a really good teaching session. I really would like next time if you have and they can have and the side so people see the actual spelling and
Yes,
pronounce it.
definitely.
Really helpful, because that's a good class. I love it. I'll promote it too, so we could do it,
Yeah.
Something even like this, that would be nice.
Yes.
Yes.
So this was just the introduction, breaking the ice. So for the very next session, definitely. Yeah. So
teacher accent.
I didn't hear that. Was that?
What is a teacher accent?
Teacher?
Mother accent. How do I say in a Spanish class? I want to call out my teacher. How do I say that in Spanish?
Okay, so the word for teacher in Spanish, if you are in secondary school or tertiary level, you would say profesor if it's a man, and profesora if it is female. You can also refer to them as Miss and Sir, which will be señor, señorita, señora.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so to go over the word for teacher specifically again, profesor, if it's a male teacher, profesora, female teacher. So say you want to say, well, Miss Roxanne, you're going to say, well, Senora Roxanne.
Yes.
Right. If you want to say, Mr. John, right? Senor Juan. Yeah.
That's a Spanish name there, Brother John. Juan.
I'm prelude to that one. I know that my name in Spanish is Juan.
Yes.
Wow.
So any other questions I'll be willing to answer. In the meanwhile, let me just go over. Remember how you say good evening, buenas tardes, good night, buenas noches, good morning or good day, buenos dias.
Let me read it up. Buenas tardes, buenas noches. Yeah.
Yeah.
Buenos dias. Buenos dias, buenos dias, buenos dias.
How do you, okay, well, the accent, there's an accent over the I, yeah, so you're going to stress where you see the accent. So because there's an accent over the I, the pronunciation is buenos dias. Not buenos dias, not buenos dias. No, there's an accent over the I, and you have to stress where you see the accent. Buenos dias.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Wow. And as we are learning these words, it really brings back a lot of memories. Like, how do you say, where do you live? Where
Okay.
do you live?
So, where do you live? So the word for where would be donde. And there's an accent over the O when it's in a question. So you'll find the stress goes there. So, as part of our language and our grammar in English, we don't have accents or graphs or anything like that. In Spanish, there are accents. And you have to stress where you see the accent. Right? And there's also a stress rule if the word does not have an accent, but it will be a little too heavy for the first session.
Okay.
Right? So because there is an accent over the O, you find yourself with the correct pronunciation will be donde. Donde. So, and the word for live, the word to live would be vivir. So the question would be donde vives? Donde vives? So if I want to say, Maria, where do you live? Donde vives, Maria? Donde vives?
Sorry.
Where do you live? Donde vives? Now, you know, in English, at the end of a question, we put a question mark, not a full stop. Well, in Spanish, if we look at it like this, where just as how we have our speech marks in English when we use a direct speech and you have your open inverted commas and closing inverted commas, in Spanish, what we have, if you refer to it as open question mark and closing question mark, you'll remember to put your upside down question mark at the beginning. Sometimes you find students leave it out because I don't do that in English, so I don't see the sentence in Spanish.
Yeah.
But you know, we take the time to explain to them this is part of the language. Without it there, you are kind of breaking the grammatical rule, the punctuation rule that goes with that language. Then you'll find they will understand, they will respect it, and they would use it. So you have to let them know when you're beginning a question, you put opening question marks, closing question marks. So you open the question, you close the question, right? Same way we use it in the direct speech for English. You open the inverted commas, you close the inverted commas. So that is a way to help them remember. Okay, so again, how do you ask that? Where do you live? Donde vives? Where do you live? Now, if you want to respond to it and you want to say, well, I live in, and let's call it, you know, we have many Spanish place names because we had the Spanish settled here. So if we want to say somewhere like El Dorado, right? So you're going to say, vivo en El Dorado. El Dorado is a Spanish place name in Trinidad. So vivo en El Dorado.
If you want to say Senora Roxanne, I'm saying Senora Roxanne, right? That's Miss Roxanne. If you desire to say, I live in Trinidad, or I live in Canada, or I live in Africa, what do you say? What words would you just say? Vivo Canada. How would you say that?
Right. So you're saying I live in Trinidad. That's the English, and the Spanish would be a bit similar. Vivo en Trinidad, not in, en, en. Vivo en Trinidad. Vivo en Canadá.
Vivo en Canadá.
Muy bien. Vivo en Venezuela. Vivo en Colombia. Vivo en España. Vivo en Tobago.
Oh, Tobago.
Right? So just a few. And something to help us remember, you cannot pronounce the Spanish words even if it is spelled the same way. For instance, Trinidad is a Spanish name. Trinidad is not English. The English for Trinidad is Trinity. Trinidad is Spanish.
Okay.
Right? Now, not because we are accustomed saying Trinidad and you know we speak English here, that means you're just gonna pronounce it Trinidad, vivo in Trinidad. No. Now you're speaking Spanish, so you have to give it the Spanish pronunciation. Language is part of a culture. So you're gonna say vivo in Trinidad. That's the Spanish pronunciation. You're not gonna say vivo in Tobago. Vivo in Tobago.
Tobago. Wow.
So when I hear people saying, I have people pronouncing Trinidad, this is Trinidad and Tobago. They pronounce the Spanish version of it, not the English version.
Okay, so vivo in Trinidad y Tobago. Or if you want to say, I am from Trinidad and Tobago, so you are in another country, probably a Spanish-speaking country. You're in Colombia, and you know they're asking you where you're from. All right, you're going to say, I'm from Trinidad and Tobago. Right? Soy de Trinidad y Tobago.
Okay, soy de Trinidad
y Tobago.
But for dinner, I heard that I live in Trinidad, in Canada. But my wife, so that'll be good for her too. Yeah, loving this.
It's so many areas that we have to be careful regarding the language and the sound and pronunciation. because even as Senora Roxanne was speaking, I'm hearing the tone. It goes with a tone as well.
Yeah.
Or probably everybody have their own tone, but I'm hearing how she pronounces it and says the word, and you know how it rolls off her tongue, as we say. So this will be a wonderful journey, even as John said, look out for the words, look out for the spelling. Again, bring your paper, you do your research, and get excited to learn something new. Get excited. So we have learned and heard about good evening, good night, good day, hello, what is your name? I am, good day. And there are so many. We even got nuggets about practicing it and stop procrastinating. So it's time that we just enjoy and practice, take the opportunity to rise, take the opportunity to grow. And Roxanne, I just want to say thank you that you are giving us this opportunity to grow and learn. So thank you. So how do we say thank you?
So I'm
How
now
do
going
we say thank you?
before I say that, I must say you're most welcome. It's just a pleasure doing it because I love the language.
Mhm.
It's a pleasure. So you want to say thank you. Someone they did something nice for you. It could just be a family. You just want to say thank you. It's going to be gracias. Gracias.
Yes, yes.
Thank you. Gracias. Thank you. And you don't just leave it there. Somebody says thank you, say you're welcome. Right? You're welcome. Don't just leave it like that. I mean, you be grateful too. So you
Yeah.
want to say welcome, you want to respond. It's going to be de nada, de
Yeah.
nada, de, D-E-D, nada, N-A-D-A.
Nada.
Yes, thank you. You're welcome, de nada. All right. So for those who listen, let's say it one more time. Thank you. Gracias. You're welcome, de nada.
Nada. But tomorrow when I go to work, I gotta call that friend. I gotta work on him.
You know, as you said, de nada, I just want to ask you this question. Is de nada nothing new? Is that nothing new? Or also, as you have said, you're welcome?
Then it's like, don't mention it. That's nothing. You know, it's like
Oh,
somebody saying thank you. You say like, don't mention it now.
okay.
Yeah, that's what it's like. Don't mention it.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a journey. What a journey. John, Mr. One, do you have any question?
Yes, talk to me.
Do you have a question for Senora Roxanne this evening as we get ready to wrap up?
A question? Well, question. Well, I want to say this because I want to probably go to another question. Will you be available every Sunday?
I could make myself available.
Yeah. Because we have one service starting from 5 to 7, and then 7:30 to 8. I have another program that I scheduled for 8 o'clock, but they haven't made up their minds yet what they want us to do. So we could use up that time still until probably again a Saturday, maybe between 6 and 8 o'clock. So 6 and 7, or 6:30 to 7:30 Saturday afternoon.
Okay. Well, we would talk it over
Yeah.
and we would surely communicate with you to ensure that your listeners do enjoy and grow. And we look forward to working with the body of Christ and even the general public regarding a new language, being bilingual as we call it. So
Yeah.
yes, and I want to say gracias again. Something you feel so happy when you could, give another person an opportunity and be a blessing to another person. Now, when I had asked Roxanne, Roxanne was so excited, to tell the truth, really, really excited to be a blessing. And as we have mentioned earlier, she is so skilled and, ready to make a difference, to educate. She's an educator, lifelong educator. impacting children, preschoolers, impacting primary, impacting secondary. And if you're an adult, you're excited, really, really want to stop this procrastinating, it's time to give Roxanne a call. It's time to step out there, step out there. You want to be a missionary and you have some challenges, give her a buzz. And then we're gonna give Brother John a buzz as well as we continue to use the various platforms to send the gospel and to send it with excellence. You can call Roxanne, as I said before, at 868-321-321-8673. And I said earlier, Brother John, persons, please feel free to send your questions so we can add to our session and make it effective for you. It's about you learning. It's about Brother John learning. It's about I myself, I'm learning as well. And Roxanne is just giving and giving. And we know that King Jesus will, her rewards are great on this earth as well as in heaven.
Yes. So, what's your last name, Roxanne?
Huh?
What's your last name?
Neema.
Spell that for me.
Neema. Neemah.
Emah. All right, thank you. And okay, okay. Again, 1-868. Your phone number.
Right. 321-8673.
321-8673. So that 868-326-8673. Yes?
868-321-321-8673.
8673. All right. I have yours for dinner, so that's.
You got it, Brother John?
Yes, I got that.
321-8673. 321-8673.
All right. And yours 868.
Mine?
868.
290.
0, yeah.
763.
Okay, very good. Yeah.
Gracias.
De nada. Yes.
So it's just 8:27 right now in Trinidad and Tobago and Trinidad and Tobago. So Roxanne, do you have any closing remarks or any last words you would like to share with us as we close at 8:30?
Okay. Yeah, basically, what I would like to say, well, go over the bit that we would have learned, but even more importantly, we need to keep an open mind. You know, we don't exist in this land alone. It's not only English speaking countries. We have English speaking people, right? We have a diversity of different people with different languages, you know, different forms of communication. And we need to go past tolerance. Tolerance is one of our watchwords, but we need to even go past it. All right? Communication is vital, it's very important. And Spanish is just another way of communicating, another way of learning about other people, accepting people. Right? It kind of helps you to be a bit more selfless rather than, selfish. Be a bit more open-minded, sorry. So like those would be my my closing remarks. Yeah. And you would find that you have you'll be more willing to learn new languages, and you'll be more receptive to it, and it would be easier for you to learn it as well. You understand? Because the excellence, it begins in your mind, the way you think, the way you perceive it. If you tell yourself that you're gonna feel, oh, this thing is gonna be hard, there's like a brick wall for me. I have a mind block with management. That is exactly how it's gonna be because you already told yourself that.
Yes.
But if you're more open-minded to it, you'll find it's gonna be easier.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's profound. That's profound regarding our mindsets. You know, how we think and how we perceive things. Because God has so much in store for all of us. He wants to carry us up to a higher place. He wants to move us from glory to glory. And I'm so grateful that you have mentioned that as we close the program for such a time like this. I want every listener on Gems FM to know that God is working on you, for this is your time. This is our time. This is Roxanne's time. And even on this platform, we have Tonya, who is also just there praying us through. And Tonya will be coming in sometime soon, maybe next week, to talk about her experience of achieving her master's just recently and how God has taken her from one university to another university to achieve good success and to be able to encourage other young men and young women amidst the challenges, amid the difficulties, that you can also achieve your education, that you can grow. Look out for sign language classes, look out for learning about business, look out for so much more that we are going to bring to you on the program for such a time like this. So thank you, Brother John. As usual, you have been an awesome host, just, chiming in and asking your question. You just, make it so easy to host a program. So may God's blessings, his favor just run you down. May you just have your heart's desire, what he has promised you in 2022. And we look forward to hearing that he would bring you before great men and that God will use persons to propel this ministry to a higher level in Jesus' name. So, want to say buenos. First, I have it right. Buenas noches. It has really been an honor being in your presence. Shalom, shalom. Thank you again, Roxanne, for being part of this segment, and I really appreciate your presence. Pleasant evening.
Yes.
Don't program a time like this where you will be encouraged and empowered to improve your health, wealth, and develop spiritually every Saturday from 1 p.m. For more information, you can call or WhatsApp Fedina at 1-868-290-7263. Shalom.
Yes, and I want to close with one song from the Mighty Sparrow. This one called Education.
Education, education, this is the foundation. Our rising population needs sound education to be recognized anywhere you go. Have your certificate to show, to enjoy any kind of happiness. Knowledge is the key to success. Children go to school and learn well. Otherwise, later on in life, you won't catch real hell. Without an education in your head, your whole life will be pure misery. You're better off dead. For there is simply no room in this whole wide world for an uneducated little boy or girl. Don't allow idle companions to lead you astray. To earn tomorrow, you got to learn today. For employment, yes, employment, you must be intelligent. It's essential, very essential to have your credentials. But if you're block-headed like a mule, no one will employ a fool. You'll be the last last one to be hired and the first one to be fired. Children go to school and learn well. Otherwise, later on in life, you're gonna catch real hell. Without an education in your head, your whole life will be pure misery. You're better off dead. For there is simply no room in this whole wide world for an uneducated little boy or girl. Don't follow idle companions or you will get burned. To earn, you got to learn. Illiteracy is man's greatest enemy. It's your duty, yes, your duty, stamp it out completely. Ignorance always impedes progress. Education saves you much distress. So learn as much as you can. For the nation's future's in your hand. Children stay in school and learn well. Otherwise, later on in life, you're gonna catch real hell. Without an education in your head, your whole life will be pure misery. You're better off dead. For there is simply no room in this whole wide world for an uneducated little boy or girl. Don't allow idle companions to lead you astray. To earn tomorrow, you got to learn today. It's a treasure, yes, a treasure beyond any measure. Just secure it, don't ever ignore it. To fight life's battles come what may. Education lights up your way. Without it, you'll never get through. Success or failure now is up to you. Children go to school and learn well. Otherwise, later on in life, you're gonna catch real hell. Without an education in your head, your whole life will be pure misery. You're better off dead. For there is simply no room in this whole wide world for an uneducated little boy or girl. Don't allow idle companions to lead you astray. To earn tomorrow, you got to learn today.
Okay, 14, are you there? Oh, is she gone? Oh, she's gone. All right, so that's where we get to the end of this show. Again, a pleasant good evening to each and everybody. Yeah, so